let's go ahead and take this off. Oh!
Hey cool corals and frags, it's Cody! Just kidding. What's up guys, welcome back to RealReefingTV. I'm Cody Greats, and today the filters on my RO unit need to be replaced, and I figured this is a perfect opportunity to show you guys, one, the new laundry room, and two, how I have my RO system set up, what filters I'm running, what my schedule is like. It's something that I don't think I've ever really talked about on this channel, and we're going to do that today. Oh, I just touched my face. Anyways, let me give you a brief rundown on this RO system. So what we have is a 7 stage RO unit. This is a bulk Reef Supply RO unit. I think that bulk Reef Supply is the best place for all of your RO needs. I think that they're the cheapest. I think that they have or the best value, and I think that they have the best filter quality out there. And you guys know I'm a brand ambassador for Marine Depot, but gotta shoot it to you straight. I go to I go to bulk Reef Supply for my RO needs. So let's talk about it. So I use the GeoSave. I think that's the name for it. All of the links are going to be in the description below. Those links to bulk Reef Supply are not affiliate links, just helping you guys out. And so the first one is the GeoSave. I forget what micron filter I use there for the sediment filter. The second and third filter are universal carbon blocks. And the fourth, fifth is RODI mixed beds, color changing DI resin. I like them because they put them in a sealed package. We'll see here a little bit later. And so I know that the DI resin is fresh. I know a lot of like LFSs will sell DI resin, but it's in like just a plastic bag like they would a coral. No. It needs to be vacuum sealed in a foil bag, and yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I want it fresh. And then I've got a couple of 75 gallon per day RO membranes here, and a couple of gauges. These really I don't pay attention to my gauges that often. I do use my dual TDS meter, which measures the TDS going into the RO and out of the RO. And typically, when I'm running everything smooth, we're running 2 to 3 into the DI resin and 0 out. Now, obviously, it's higher when you just start running some water through it and all that sort of good stuff. But on its way out, it's 0, and that's what we're looking for. Over here, we've got a filter monitor. I'm gonna take this off. I've literally never used this. Look, it doesn't even have a back to it. I've literally never used that. It's just kind of in my way, and the flow meter on it is actually starting to leak. So I'm gonna get that off of there. In today's episode, we're gonna replace the filters. I think that the sediment filter is absolutely fine, so we're not replacing that. We're gonna replace the 2 carbon blocks and the 2 DI resins. I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to get that DI resin packed up in there, and we'll get that rocking and rolling. The next thing I wanted to show you guys is right over here. This is a 100-gallon poly tank, and the way that I have it set up in here is that there's a float valve. It's on the inside. That is hooked up to a valve here, an inline valve, and that way, once it's done, it's filled up, I can shut it off, and I know I'm not going to have any failures with the float valve. I've had failures before, and I've had, tens of gallons on the floor. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but 10 gallons on the floor is a lot of water. You don't want that. So I use that to shut it off. The other thing that I have is I have this actually plumbed to the auto top-off reservoir underneath the 300-gallon tank. And there's a tube right up here, right here, that runs all the way over to the 300-gallon tank and into a float valve there. So same situation, I have another valve right here. It's not hooked up at the current moment. That will hook up to that and will go over to the 300-gallon tank. Once that's full, I'll shut it off. and then I don't have to worry about any issues there. And I also don't have to haul any 5-gallon buckets. That's the holy grail right there. That's the holy grail. Okay, this poly tank is also used for the 5-gallon buckets that I do need to haul over to the nano tank. And we have, I just did this, and as you can see, we've got a union ball valve right here, and it's plumbed into the bottom of the tank. Let's do this. Let's get these unpressurized. Go ahead and get to cranking those off of there and get these filters replaced.
Let's go ahead and take this off. Oh! So check it out, if you ever want to just do one of these without having like the tool, which is, the tool's fine, but I usually get by without it. Number one, you could get like a quarter-inch wrench and just pop it on there and it'll work the exact same as that tool. Or what I do is I kind of grab it like this, push in, and then pull it right off. That right there is all chewed up, so I'm going to give that a clean cut. So when I take this out here, just like that, a bit of water left in that line. Nice sharp razor will get that junk off there. Just going to clean it up. And in you go. Good as new. Took that out. Now we can just take this cord and there we go. That's cool. I'll tell you what, man, that thing stays on there. But the way that these work, water comes into here, spins this. This tells you how many gallons has been through it and stuff like that. But I just tell by my TDS I don't ever use this thing. So. Now what I usually do is I will take these, I will unscrew them, take them to my sink in the kitchen, and dump them out, throw these away, throw all the DI resin away, and start packing it down. So I will meet you in the kitchen. Also, right now my kids are watching like Disney movies out there, so we're gonna do a voiceover. Alright, so pretty easy getting this stuff off of here. Just get it off and wipe up the mess when you're done, because there will be some water that leaks out. Just to go ahead and take out the carbon blocks, and I like to clean the little O-ring that's in there. You'll see it's a little black O-ring, and make sure that's clean. So you get a nice good seal, and the crusties don't make it stick the next time. So after you throw away the old carbon blocks, pop the new ones in. Super simple. You really can't mess it up because either way is the right way. You can't jam it in there sideways. And then take your DI resin canisters, pop the bottom off, dump them out, rinse them out. You can rinse that DI resin right down the drain, no big deal. Then go ahead and open up the vacuum sealed pack and start to put it in there. About halfway, I like to start pounding it down and just kind of getting it settled to the bottom. Then I fill it all the way up till it's mounded up over top and mash it down so that it's flat with the top. And I'll take it and kind of rotate my hand around those threads to get the DI resin granules out of the threads. It's really important that those aren't in there because it'll kind of make that cap kind of pop off. So as you can see with these new foam inserts, they're like a couple dollars a piece in Bulk Reef Supply. I figured I'd change them out after having these DI resin canisters for years and years now. And it's, you know, just, I mean, kind of have to mash it down there on the first go around, get it all down, get the DI resin granules off of there. You don't want that making its way through your 1/4 inch RO lines. So repeat the same process for the second canister if you have one, and it's a breeze. Look, guys, this DI resin, it really works, and it works for a long time. You really, you're gonna get hundreds of gallons out of these DI resins if you're not wasting it. And I like to make my water in batches, so when I fill up my 100-gallon tub, I do that all in one go, and then I turn the switch off to it, deplete that, and then refill it once I'm there. Same goes for my auto top off reservoir. 7 gallons, I fill it up, I shut it off, and that way I don't have TDS creep and saving on that DI resin. Cleanup is a breeze, and we're done. So let's get it back in here and start to get it hooked up.
All right, so what doesn't matter is how you put these back on. In the order that you put them on. You do want to make sure that your RO or that your DI resin, there's a little arrow pointing up. Had a buddy who had an issue with his, it wasn't working right, and he was wondering why. It's because his canisters were upside down. But get it on there, tighten it up, give it a cinch. That's good. That's good. You don't have to go crazy with it. I'll be right back at the other two. And again, these ones don't matter. They're exactly the same. One thing you could do, if you had extra of these lying around, to help them last a little bit longer, you could move them up. Since this one's going to get exhausted first, you could then move the second one over, or just wait till they're both exhausted. But if you wanted to spread out the cost of it a little bit, you could do it that way. That way you're only replacing one at a time. But that doesn't bother me any. I think that does it. It's good. All right, now, last thing to do is to pull that one that I showed you earlier around and hook it in, because the 300 has been without water, so it's just getting low. It's been that way for a little while now, so I'm gonna get it run around so I can get that filled up and get the 300 topped off. Other than that, that's it. I'm gonna get the poly tank filled up, so I got RO water on hand if I need to mix any salt water in immediate. I mean, you can make salt water like that as long as you have the water made up. That's what takes the most amount of time. Another thing is for the 10-gallon tank, that's what I just use for top off water and stuff like that. So it's really handy to have water on hand. So I recommend that you definitely do that, whether you use a brute trash can or whatever. Make sure you invest in a float valve though. Those also will save your life. Alright, well guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope that it helped you out in kind of making some decisions on how to set up your RO system. I will tell you that it does save you money and it does save you time, because you don't have to go to the store and buy water, number one. Number two, you don't have to go to the store. And especially in a pandemic, pretty nice, huh? Not having to go out. Invest in an RO unit. I'll throw the link to some in the description below. Like I said, those are going to be with Bulk Reef Supply. They are not going to be affiliate links. However, if you are interested in anything at Marine Depot, I do have a 10% off coupon for the first purchase of any of my fans out there. The coupon code is RealReefingTV. If you use any of my other affiliate links, I greatly appreciate that. It goes back to help support the channel, and I thank you guys so much for watching and being a part of my reefing life. I love you guys. I'm out. Later.